4 frames to 10 and has come charging back to win 9 of the last 10 frames. He leads by 2, but how often has this final session produced a twist in the tail, and might it do so again for John Higgins? Let's find out, shall we? In the company of John Virgo and Stephen Hendry. Good evening.
Good evening, Hazel, and good evening, everybody. This is it, the culmination of 17 days of hard match-play snooker. John Higgins was always in front.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
He's in front no more.
Frame 25, John Higgins to break.
And I think the big question is, Stephen, what has he got left?
Well, I think the first frame tonight is absolutely huge for John Higgins. He's taken such a battering over the last session, and the end of last night's session. If he loses his first frame, I worry for what he does have left.
Yes, of course. Shoes on the other foot now. Mark Selby was playing catch-up. There you see the pot success, which is probably the reason why he's now 2 frames in front. But John Higgins, you just got the feeling when he was in front, kept looking over his shoulder. And maybe just thought, keep it tight and I'll scrape a few frames together. It wasn't to be. And I suppose, if anything now, John Higgins is the one that can just maybe relax a little bit. He knows he's got to play well.
Yeah, and I'd like to maybe be a bit more aggressive tonight. I think he got sucked into a containing safety game with Mark Selby. You know, the thin contacts of the pack, not bringing the reds, just making sure you weren't leaving anything rather than trying to force the issue. He's much better when he's an aggressive player.
Looked at the pot, decided it was too risky. This could be a good cue ball if it runs.
We've seen that stat coming up there over 45 minutes since he's potted the ball, John Higgins. If they'd have kept playing this afternoon, that probably would have gone on a lot longer. But he's had the break, had the chance to regroup. Can he come back fighting tonight?
Looking to take this red on. May feel the only red he could leave is the one he's playing. But right in the heart of the pocket. Nearly got into that too much. Just watch the cue ball here, got very close to the middle pocket, which is why he's not perfect on the blue.
He'd love to play for the red and the black spot, but he may just play the cue ball to this cushion to leave the red closest. Now he's gone into them. This could go wrong. Took a bit of a risk there.
6.
Yeah, he was more or less hoping to be on a red. Anyway, this red cuts. Then it went. And just about got the right side of the blue. But as Stephen said, he'd love to get that red that seems to be occupying a black spot. Maybe it isn't. Maybe there's enough room. There's 2 reds on the left-hand side of the table, easy to play on. And that's what he's decided to do. Maybe there's room for the black, and that red's not
12.
Occupying the black spot. We'll take this opportunity just to build up a useful lead.
13.
Just what he was looking for. First chance.
Exactly the opposite of what his opponent was looking for.
19.
49 points from here. We're getting to the snooker's required stage.
20. $26. 27.
So that's the red he wanted rid of, but it's hard to see where the next one's coming from, and he looks to be pretty straight on this black.
Yeah, just at first glance, the only one I can see is the one that's on the outside of the cluster. That would go to the far left corner. He's not looked at that yet. He's looking to screw on and off the side cushion, but this could go wrong quite easily.
Yeah, I'd love to make contact on the two reds below the pink. Perfect.
Yeah, got the cannon, but probably still a little bit of work to do with the cue ball here, unless, as we watch that again, a little bit of left-hand side just to bring the cue ball out in the open. I don't know whether he can play a cannon on the black or run around the back of the black here. It's not a straightforward pot and position, it doesn't look like. Well, in the end, he didn't like it.
35.
And he won't like this, because he's on nothing.
Yeah, wanted a much thicker cannon on the red after potting. The red he was playing. Send the cue ball back up the table.
Declare your colour, please, Mark. Thank you.
Probably heard referee Jan Verhaas say, declare the colour. I think you can just
Yellow
snick.
ball.
Oh, you can get through to the yellow.
Mark Selby, 35.
35, but didn't make the most of that opportunity. That may give John Higgins a little bit of heart, but being 35 points behind, he's got to get the next chance. If Mark Selby gets it, surely it's frame over. Can he get this cue ball in behind the yellow? Needs to miss the brown. That's no good.
Didn't expect him to miss that, the way he started and the way he finished the afternoon session.
Yeah, but just obviously put a little bit of left-hand side, and because he hit it a little bit harder than he expected, pushed the cue ball into the red, and that's why he caught it too thick. So he's given John Higgins an unexpected chance here. He's got to play well now as John Higgins. There's no room for error. Judged it nicely. The only problem is he's straight or just off straight the wrong side. I'm not certain where the next red comes from. Just overran it by a couple of inches. There you see, just the wrong side of that blue line.
Yeah, he can't even follow through the cue ball and play the red. It's closest to the left cushion because the yellow's in the way. Well, I said he needs to be aggressive, and if he's taking the pink on, that's exactly what this is.
Well, he won't play many more bigger pressure shots than this.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That's what he needs to do tonight, John Higgins, for me. He needs to take the game to Mark Selby.
What a brave choice that was. So difficult and right in the heart of the pocket. Deserves everything he gets now.
Yeah, under the circumstances, this is one of the pots of the final, if not the tournament.
40.
We've seen some fantastic shots played, but when you take into consideration what's at stake, if he missed that, he'd have been 3 frames behind.
50.
Cleverly nudging the red off the cushion. I think the black goes. He's on the black. He's not going to be pleased with that. I'm surprised he stunned it, really. Looked to be better choice to have rolled it in.
Yeah, I think that was adrenaline possibly there. Just wanted to stun run through, just wanted the cue ball just to come through an inch. Would have been fine. Just got into it too much. Purely adrenaline. Send a break. Look at where the reds are as well. Be so disappointed John Higgins playing a safety shot now.
John Higgins,
Maybe
22.
because of that disappointment, frustration, has played a very poor one.
Well, in the third session, Mark Selby's long pot success was 92%. So you make him favourite to knock this one in. Solid. the chance that John Higgins had to win the frame has now gone.
Not the cleanest of pots there, but it's in. Just pops this off the right-hand jaw of the
8.
pocket. Fortunate for that to go in, really. Yeah, John, there's obviously that chance to win this frame. Is that a chance to get back in the match going with that chance?
You see it, 28 points ahead, 59 remaining. So he's going to need 3 of these remaining 4 reds. And he's just got to be careful in potting this red that he doesn't run into the red that's near the top cushion. He's got to screw past that for position on pink or black. And with the extension on the cue, it's not beyond the realms of possibility he could make a mistake. Got to avoid the kiss on the second red. Can't reach it with the extension. Got to use the rest. Controlled it beautifully.
60.
This black will put him 36 points in front. Another red and a black would get him to the snooker's required stage. There you see it, 36 ahead, 51 remaining. Once he pots this red, there will only be 43 remaining, and if it's followed by the black, he'll go 44 points in front.
$24.
Well, it's an amazing comeback, this, when you consider he trailed by 10 frames to 4.
31.
And now he's going 14-11 in front.
32.
Last 11 frames, he's won 10 of them. And there's no way back to the table now for John Higgins. Potted an absolute superb pink, but unfortunately
37.
couldn't capitalise on it. It's not dropped.
37.
But I don't think John Higgins will be coming back to the table. He won't. Where's his next frame coming from? That's the question, as Mark Selby now goes 3 frames clear, 14-11.
And for those of you who are just joining us on our final night, hello, you are most welcome to be with us for this fantastic final evening. And I know that I asked you to settle in and relax, and many of you have been doing just that. In fact, Mrs. D tweets us to say, snooker salad at the ready. It looks lovely, I must say, but I think you might be a bit hampered there. You get it? Never mind, it was weak. Hey. And I certainly know that breadstick would not be lasting very long in our house with a little girl around. But for those who are just joining us, this story of the final has been an extraordinary one, because yesterday it was John Higgins who was making all the running, John.
Yeah, and he led 8-3 and he led 10-4 and he was in total control. And he missed a shot in the next frame, and since then Mark Selby has just dragged something from somewhere, won the last 3 frames, and has just been absolutely fabulous today. It's fair to say he's getting a bit of help. John, you know, has not been at his best, and he made a very poor positional shot in the last one, Steve, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked like he's amongst the balls, but he just put a bit too much into that cue ball, and he's ended up over the top of the pink. Had to play safe. Safety shot wasn't great, and then Mark Selby locked in a fantastic red, and Mark Selby's in the ascendancy, and what a comeback this has been.
4 more required for the defending champion to join a very, very select group of players who've won it back-to-back. He would, if this continues, become only the 4th in history to do it at the Crucible.
Yes, and it'd be hard now to think that he couldn't do it. John Higgins, well, he had a chance in the last frame. He's got to start scoring. Possible pot here. If you're going to miss it, err on the side of hitting it too thin. But at the moment, he can't stop hitting a baulk colour with his safeties. Well, he can certainly get through to pot this red. The only way he'd turn it down is if he didn't feel as though he could get position on the colour. Oh, played it delightful. The drag shot. Played it lots of bottom, not even a hard. Just it to absolute perfection.
Yeah, clever shot really, because the way he's played it, the only red he could have left, possibly one to the far right corner, but yeah, he thought the only one he could leave was the one he played. Not got the best angle in the black though. The 2 reds above the black. They both go to the right corner, but you really have to force the cue ball to get on that.
No, didn't work out.
8.
As Stephen said, it was always going to be difficult. Because by the time the cue ball was travelled off and on the cushion, it's not got a lot of pace left in it.
Mark Selby, 8.
Well, he's played better safety shots than that now. John Higgins playing an attacking safety here. An attacking safety is playing it so you open up the reds. Good target, the brown, to aim for. Decent line. Bit too pacey though. This looks a good cue ball. Very good. Can't get through to this one to the corner. And it's not an easy nestle to the main bunch, and the reason that being because there's a couple of loose reds that you could leave on and be fearful that you could leave them on. I mean, he's thought about the 2 cushion escape, but if he doesn't catch him just right, he could leave a red on. The 1 cushion, he could leave one of those 2 reds just below the pink. Not a straightforward escape, this, by any means. Good hit, but he's going to leave a red on. He's left the red on. If it doesn't go to the right middle, it'll certainly go to the far right corner. pocket available. And considering that excellent shot, you'd be so wary when playing that shot that you might just hit the red and flick the pink. Okay, he's not the right side of the blue, but he's got a red on the right-hand side of the table. So he can play that for that and get nicely on the black. It's a decent opportunity, this.
I'm sure he played for the red below the pink there. Wasn't the most positive strike of the cue ball. Can play for blue, pink or black with this red.
Seven.
Well, it's not straightforward, this next positional shot. Everything's covering each other to the right corner. It's really got to get into this cue ball here. And he strstruck that very well. Plays those screw shots better than anyone in the game. Really timed that beautifully.
13.
I want to play that one again.
Yeah, another careless positional shot. He's that bad on the blue, he's looking at the yellow. This would be some shot. Ooh.
Mark Selby, 14.
Well, you can see what happens when you work across the ball there, Stephen. Here, man, that was a wide.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You won't want a video of that shot. Come on, John. What have you got left?
And when you're playing catch-up like this, you've got to play well. But you
8.
need a bit of help from your opponent, particularly at this level. And this was an unexpected chance.
Nine.
Perfect. Now, pot the black. Doesn't have to hit it too hard. Cannon into the cluster. Should still be on the red that the cue ball's close to. He's opened them up. Now, can he get
16.
to cue this red? If it's straightforward position off the red, it's not a problem. I think he may have to go for the spider here. Can he reach it? Just about. Now wants an angle on the black. He's got one. He's asking for the cue ball to be clean, but looks like a nice angle. The only slight problem is the yellow. It's just where he'd like to put his bridge hand.
Thank you.
That's okay. This red goes to the right corner. And he looks to have landed on it perfectly. Oh, no, 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 don't do that. Oh, these heavy contacts, when will it ever stop? Unlucky.
I mean, that's just heartbreaking for John. I mean, look at that. As if he's played a stun shot. That's horrific.
Yellow ball. John Higgins, 25.
This is when having a good match temperament comes into its own. I mean, it's hard enough for John to get back in his match without that happening, but he's going to try, if he can, to put it out of his mind. Try and stay positive, try and still believe.
Yeah, let's control the object ball nicely there. John needs to reply with a good safety of his own now. Needs to miss the yellow. Needs to creep behind the yellow. And it has done. And after that bad contact when he's in amongst the balls, he deserves a bit of luck. Does it reach?
Foul. Gonna miss. John Higgins, 4. Yeah.
No hesitation in having the cue ball put back. It's hard to see Mark leaving a pot on here, but once you finish short, you have a tendency to maybe sometimes overcompensate, and he doesn't want to hit these reds too firm because he may just knock one on to the
Can you put it on, Paul?
middle pocket.
Okay.
So we're getting a bit of advice
For me, but hardly anything.
from Paul Collier, scorer.
Yeah. Okay, Mark? Yeah. John? Thank you.
Okay, they're all happy. Try number 2. Certainly hard enough this time. And a beautiful line. Good shot. Another good safety.
Thank you, Mark.
Comes Snooker. Trying to get there by using side. He'll hit the pink, if anything.
Foul. And a miss.
And free ball.
Free ball.
But
John Higgins 6.
nothing to go at. But these points, they all add up. They can make the difference in a frame, whether you need an awkward red near a cushion or not.
How's that, Mark? Yeah, John.
But John, desperately looking for a chance to score. Slid by them, has he? If he does, he leaves a red. There'll be no mistaken this time.
John Higgins 4.
Only missed by a fraction, but that's what this game's all about.
One.
Well, he's still on the blue, but he will play the blue. That pink just separated from those 5 reds just makes it a little bit more difficult. And if you're going to play the cannon, you've got to hit that pink full in the face to let it move the reds. Didn't catch it full in the face, needs a bit of luck. He's had some, he's had some, he's on the red.
Well, he deserves every bit of that
6.
after that horrendous kick early on in the frame. Okay, so he didn't catch the pink at all, full. But he'd be delighted with the result. Pink and black still in the open.
7.
Surely he's going to get a frame on the board. He'll get such a boost if he can get this frame.
.31 ahead, 67 remaining.
14.
3 reds, 3 colours. Should do it. Just stopped in his tracks. If he was straight on this red, he'd just run through for the black. But I don't think he wants to overcomplicate this. So deciding to
15.
play for the pink. The right hand of the 3 reds will definitely pot in the right corner, the same pocket as the pink. Just a little bit concerned where the pink will be when it's respotted.
.21.
Quick glance at the scoreboard. Red, colour, red required.
.22.
I don't know if he's got the angle just to drop in behind this red to leave it to right middle. Or is he going to try and take it off the cushion? He's playing the cannon. Oh, he's got the second cannon. I think only
28.
needing one more red. I might have been tempted just to try and drop in behind it there. Took a gamble.
Yeah, he's looking at the possibility of plant on these 2 reds. As Stephen said, he only needs a red. Is it worth the risk? It may consider it is, with that red being tight to the left-hand side cushion. He's eyeing up the plant. This red to go 46 points in front with 43 remaining. Here we go. It was tough, but he thought it was worth the risk.
Higgins 28.
It'd have gone in if he'd played it slower. It was the pace that kept it out. Chose to play it with an element of safety. That would have dropped it dead weight probably.
Close. Now the last thing John Higgins will want to do is to bring that red away from the left-hand side cushion. As we watch that, just caught the near bump, and at that pace, not going to go in. Another half chance of a plant here. And the cue ball will be going back to the balk end, so you would think it's more or less risk-free. Well, in the end, he didn't. He decided just to play the good safety. It's a bit pacey. Bit pacey, left the red.
Oh, you wonder what John Higgins would have left to give if he lost this frame. Might have an angle in the blue to, might be tempted to take the red off the side cushion here, this blue. He's digging down, so he's going to play the open red first. Ah, it's controlled as well. That's a really good position shot, really is. When I say that, you maybe could have done
Six.
half an inch further.
Yeah, because you'd rather be potting the black into this pocket, and then you would have the awkward
Seven.
last red in your eye line. But he's got a nice angle on this black. He's going to try and nudge this towards the middle pocket. This will take some judging. This will take some judging. Just too far. Just too far.
14.
Will he be tempted? He's looking at the potting angle. He might be hoping if he takes the pot on and misses it, the pace he plays at, it might come away from the pocket, maybe go along the middle of the baulk cushion. Go safe. No, he's not taking it on. He's back in the frame. And if he can somehow get a snooker here, he could become favourite.
He's tempted though, isn't he? It looks a straightforward safety. Play the red twice across, but it's just the culture of the modern day game. Get a chance, try and win the frame. It's coming up to the minute thinking time. Safety or pot? I think pot. He's looking at the potting angle again. Needs red cover and the 6 remaining colours. When he got so close, he's left it.
Selby,
He thought, as Stephen said, that if he got close, it'd rattle the jaws, run along the baulk cushion. It didn't. John Higgins just needs the red to go 32 points in front with 27 remaining. 2 snookers will be needed. So in goes the red. It's been a long time coming, this frame. But every comeback, every mountain you have to climb begins with one step. Is this the first step?
Yeah, it's just the injection of belief that he wanted. A bit of inspiration. He's not had much to date.
7.
Well, it's not gone in, but it won't matter. At last, John Higgins has stopped the rot, and he's got a frame on the scoreboard. Still trails by 3, sorry, by 2. 14-12, the defending champion.
Yes, the Higgins family with hearts and mouths, but that's exactly what John needed because he was struggling for a long time out there, John.
Yeah, it was a really good frame he played there, but come near the end, I have to say, it's not very often that you look at Mark Selby and you think, ooh, what shot did you play there? But that last red was very strange. He's played that, really, all his eggs are in one basket playing it this way, and that is far from an easy pot he's taken on. And the pace he's played that, he's guaranteed to stick it.
Yeah, I mean, like, if he misses it by further, he wobbles and goes safe. But you can't work out how it's going to go wobble and go safe. And he really did sort of give, I think, John Higgins a bit of light at the end of the tunnel there.
Yeah.
That shot. And when you've got your opponent on the ropes, what you do, you're advised to do is to make it hard for him to get back in the frame. The safety shot was very easy. He could have played the more aggressive shot and played it harder, and it may have wobbled and come away from the pocket. But that was, I think, giving John Higgins a bit too much of a chance to get back in it. And
well, in it he is, you know. And let's just talk very briefly about John's longevity here, because this is his 6th final, and it's 19 years after his first. Now that is a record here at the Crucible, and it's only a couple of years ago, John, he was saying that he was a journeyman professional. He's back up to world number 2 at age 41.
I know, it's a remarkable thing. I mean, I know how long he's been here. He beat me in 1998 when I was here, so I've been on the end of a couple of them here from him, but it's a remarkable turnaround. I thought he'd actually was struggling 2 years ago, and I understand why he was saying it. I thought his long game was struggling, he was lacking confidence, but for somewhere he's found it somewhere. His long game's still good, and his competitive spirit, well, that's never doubted, and his match play, well, that's always been top class.
And he's still in this final.
Wow. First time I've seen it in this final. The break-off shot has left a cut to the middle. Caught the end red, too full. Yes, and in it goes, and if it stops short of the baulk line, which it will.
1.
Disappointing when you break off and leave a red to the middle.
He's come in the middle of perfect on brown or green here to go into the bunch. Got to force this to play with a lot of pace. I think he's okay. The one at the bottom of the bunch pots.
5.
Done well there because there wasn't much pace in the cue ball going into the bunch. Interesting.
Mark Selby, 5.
Yes. And I think there's a red will go here. The only problem is, where does the colour come from? He's going to really have to impart a lot of backspin on this cue ball to get it out of the reds. This was a surprising miss. Digging in, it's got to be accurate here, playing with so much pace. Got into it, got through the reds.
1.
Not good on the colour. On a good day, you'd have caught the pink half ball and it'd have been plumb for the left middle. Not today.
Blue ball. John Higgins, what?
Yeah, just another inch or two roll and he'd been tight up behind the yellow. The reds are spread. Next chance could be a telling one for either player.
Yeah, going back to that last frame, that red that Mark Selby missed, the one along the cushion, might possibly have thrown John Higgins a lifeline, but sometimes it doesn't matter how difficult a shot is, you just get down, you just fancy getting it, and that's why you play it, and I think that's the right way to think. He obviously fancied getting this, but as I say, got so close that it was always going to stay there.
Yeah, and I think it was the type of shot that 14-11 in front you'd play it. If you were 14-11 behind, then you might have thought twice about it. We're all wise after the event. But as you say, I think he fancied it and he thought if it goes in, I'll win the frame. Does this red cut? It's thin. Oh, and you couldn't hit any thinner than that.
One.
Well, watching John's reaction, I don't think he thought this was potable.
Ideally, he'd like to have been straight on this red, and just have been a formality just to roll it in, but he's got an angle, he can screw off a couple of reds and play for the pink to the left middle, you would have thought.
Four.
And the reds are nicely spread, this is a good chance. Once again, taking his time, deciding which route to take. Looking a few shots ahead. Now I'll be interested to see where the pink is available. And so is Mark. If it goes to the left corner.
Okay.
And it does, quite clearly. Couldn't wish the ball to be in a better situation than this. And I must say, Stephen, when I looked at the table when John played his safety, I didn't think that red was cuttable. And when you notice how he played it with a ton of right-hand side.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think John thought it was going to be cuttable. Or else he wouldn't have put the cue ball there. He would have just
11.
put the cue ball somewhere near the yellow pocket. He wouldn't have risked playing the snooker. I mean, again, if he misses that, he just leaves it over the pocket.
But it has been noticed, man, that the difference in his attitude. Once he's got parity and then went a few frames in front,
17.
he's been a lot more attacking. When he was behind, he was prepared to grind it out, just to keep tabs with John and those 3 frames that we've spoken about that reduced his arrears last night to 3.
Yeah, today is after those last 3 frames last night, and today he's sniffed out weakness in his opponent, and he's pounced, and he's never let go. That's what he does.
Fraction too straight, but on these superfine cloths, well, he's going to play the run round off 2 cushions. But probably a little stun, maybe 1 cushion. He's gone the two cushion way. Okay, he's on the red to the left middle.
25.
Playing it with top, so running up for a blue or bought colour here. No, he thinks he can hold for the pink. And he did, quite comfortably. Thought he had more of an angle than that. Another 32 points from this position to get to the snookers required.
$32. $33.
Nicely on the pink. Possible plant here, but maybe a red is available to the same pocket as the pink.
$39.
3 reds, 3 high value colours. That's all that's needed.
$40.
Hard to see him making a mistake. You talk a lot, Stephen, about momentum,
47.
and after John Higgins won that last frame, he needed to win this one, didn't he, to get a string a couple of frames together.
48.
It's not to be.
Yeah, it's starting to look ominous now, this final, I'm afraid. Mark
55.
Selby's doing what all the great champions do, he's getting stronger the closer he gets to the winning line, not weaker.
56.
The applause tells you we're at the snooker's required stage. And there you see it now, 67 ahead, 59 remaining.
63. $64.
Apart from that one yellow, he's been down here in the business end. This is where you score your breaks. Played that well.
71.
Oh, well, he missed it. He'll be a little bit disappointed in make the section, but there's the nod from John Higgins. So, he won the last frame, but he didn't win that one. Mark Selby now goes 3 clear again. Now 15-12. Yeah, it's just John Higgins, unfortunately, I mean, that red that Mark put in there, I mean, as you say, I mean, I'm certain John didn't think it was on.
No, it definitely didn't. He's trying to get the cue ball. He's playing an aggressive safety. It's easy to put the cue ball tight in the ball cushion, and if he looks again, he'll probably want to put the cue ball near that far left corner in the jaws of the pocket, trying to get behind the yellow, going for the big shot. And yeah, if you look at it now, you don't think that red pots, but Mark Selby's been quite aggressive with his shot choice tonight.
Yeah, and he's played this a lot of right-hand side, so hard to judge, and of course potted it, just crept this side of the
Thank you, ladies and
baulk
gentlemen.
line,
Frame
and
28.
end of frame.
Mark Selby to break. Quietly, please.
So, mid-session interval after this. Every frame now you think is a must-win for John Higgins.
Yeah, we always say try and keep your opponent at a distance, 2 or 3 frames from the winning line. But it's getting closer and closer to the point of no return.
A shout of "come on, Mark." You need to be able to hit a red to come on. Yeah, for someone of Mark Selby's knowledge of the angles, that was a huge target. Does his red go? No. Did well to get back to the balk end, but cue ball not tight to the balk cushion. Expect Mark to play a better safety shot than that. But in all honesty, he didn't.
Thank you, John. Foul. And a miss. John Higgins' foot.
John immediately having it replaced. Wouldn't expect
Bring that up, Brendan, for a second, please.
Mark Selby to miss it a second time around. I know he's got to catch it thin, but not that thin.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you.
John.
Yeah, he caught it right this time. And where's that cue ball going to finish? Right up behind the green.
Oh, he raised his hand there because he got just the tiniest graze off the knuckle of the middle pocket there, which he caught this too thin, really. Watch the cue ball just there, squares up the angle.
Well played. If he'd have kissed the blue, he could have been in trouble. But I suppose the other side of that is that that black at the moment, anything that's in the middle of the table, is stopping it going in this corner pocket. But it's turned out very nicely for John there.
Excellent pace for the cue ball. It really is top quality safety shot.
Thank you, John.
Lots of pressure now on John to play his own good safety. There's his view. You can see the red on the right-hand side as he looks. No path back to the... Well, there is possibly a path back to the baulk end. But in playing it, he could knock a red over to the corner pocket. So needs a good cue ball here. Needs a good cue ball. Well, it could have been worse. He's not left anything easy. And I did get the feeling that he hit that slightly too thick. If there was anything that would pot to the right corner. I don't think there is though. Well, nothing he can see. Oh well. Yeah, hand up and apologised. I know he's a shot maker, Mark Selby, but no one could have envisaged that. Two reds onto that red hit, and another one that goes in off the black.
Yellow ball. Mark Selby one. Thank you, John.
There's pressure on this shot now.
Yeah, one of those situations you think, Stephen, if you don't see a safety, try and pot your way out of trouble.
Well, I always say, if the safety shot is as difficult as the pot, I know which way I'd be going. Fraught with danger, this situation though.
Yeah, but I think he's going to take the pot on here, is he? Or is he going to play a containing safety? Oh, where's the cue ball going?
Foul. Mark Selby 4.
Is that red cuttable to the right middle?
Well, Mark Selby came to the table and just, his eyes were completely on this red to left corner. He's not even looked at a safety shot, and now he's looking for the path where he's going to take the cue ball. There's pressure on this, but he's not looked at any other shot. Great pot. That's certainly not the way he wanted the cue ball to go.
Pink ball.
This is tough. No, another good pot. Another great pot. As I said before, he seems to be getting stronger.
7.
Yes, he'd have been disappointed he didn't finish up on the black. He's out safety played John Higgins so far in this frame.
8.
Straight on the blue, but that red immediately to the left of the pink is one he can play for. Just bring the cue ball after potting the blue to roughly where it is now. Unless he can roll through and the red to the right of the pink goes into the corner. Well, he's decided to play the black. Strange choice, but you see it better when you're down behind the shot.
Yeah, I think you can play the black with the cushion, then cannon a red to leave the cue ball with a red to left corner. I think he was possibly expecting a thicker cannon on that red, but he's okay, no problem. Black may even be available to right corner now. He's done this phenomenally well, John, throughout the whole tournament. He's turned visits to the table that it's not looked like a frame winning opportunity. All of a sudden, 1 or 2 shots, and he's got them there.
Yeah, he's very clever. He's got a very good snooker brain, as Mark.
$60.
Yeah, that 1-4-3 break he made was just incredible.
Yeah, as I said at the time, it's definitely up there, one of the best breaks I've ever seen since I've started commentating on snooker. Incredible. 5 or 6 reds left, it just never looked on.
$80. $90.
We showed you the sidebar, so now another 48 points to get to the snooker's required stage. After this pink, it'll be 42 points needed.
$25. Okay.
Very good with the rest, very good at every aspect of the game is Mark.
Thank you.
Nicely on the pink
26.
to the left middle. It gets a little bit more difficult though, because the red just to the right of the pink is easy to get on, but then he needs good cue ball control. Not the most straightforward of frame winning chances. I think the red just below the black will go to the right corner.
32. $33.
Well, decided to go up for the blue, but he's not on the blue. He'll have to play the pink. And if he plays the pink, the only red he can play for is the one that's closest to the left corner pocket. So he's got to do a little bit with the cue ball to get on that. Bit careless not to get the good angle on the blue. Couldn't have played it better, though. Could not have played it better.
39.
And I'm almost certain the black goes to the right corner. And perfect angle on this red.
Forty.
Could have done with a better angle on this black, though. Straight on it, or high on it, anything but this.
Well, this is missable.
47.
We might have looked at the pink to middle there, screwed back for the red beside the black. But he's left this tricky little cut along the cushion. No.
48.
It didn't look like missing at the moment. Looks to have the perfect angle to follow through of one cushion or two cushions. The red, as I say, to the left of the black, pots the right corner. Maybe, as I say, he's not happy with the angle to play that.
But if he's going to continue the break, he may have to play it.
54.
55 ahead, 75 remaining. That more or less equates to red, cover red, still needed. This is tough enough.
Mark Selby, 54.
Decent break, but just kept losing the cue ball slightly, and in the end it caught up with him. So there you see it, John Higgins 55 points behind, 75 remaining. He's still just about in this frame. And really played that purposely a little bit thicker, trying to knock that black towards the side cushion. There's a bit of insurance, but hasn't got a good cue ball. Chance for John here to gain the initiative in this tactical battle, which he's got to win. Where's the red going? The yellow needs to come to his rescue, and may well have done. It has.
Thank you.
He'll need a bit of run of the ball, and he's had some there. Yeah, good shot. Played it to perfection. But still, John Higgins has the advantage. Can he make it count? on a good day. You creep behind the brown. Straightforward safety shot is one of the reds near the left-hand side of the table, but Mark wants to keep them there because they're in an awkward position, and with a 55-point lead, he doesn't want to bring reds away from the cushion. But you can't refuse the right shot. But he thinks he can get safe down the right-hand side of the table. Kissing the yellow. He's a little bit fortunate he's not left this red just below the black. Now John Higgins, he's going to try and play safe off one of these reds near the left-hand side cushion. He's got to catch this perfect and get the perfect line. Played it well, and if the blue's covering the thin cut on this red to the right corner, that was an excellent shot. And he has top draw. But with a player of Mark Selby's knowledge of the angles, one good shot ain't gonna get you a chance.
Yeah, John Higgins shakes his head, thinking, what do I have to do to force an opportunity?
Tough situation because 55 points behind. John knows if he leaves Mark one more chance, that's end of frame. So he's trying to come off the top cushion and catch this red thin. Big ask. No, big ask. And it's going to run down the table.
Foul.
Hit the blue.
Mark
Selby will come to the table, see if there's a pot on. If there isn't, he may have it replaced. I think he'll have it replaced here. It's not a full pocket. And
Back.
can't blame him for that. John Higgins was in all kinds of trouble. And still is. Now the difference, 60 points.
Can you put it up, please?
Okay, please.
Another way John Higgins
Towards the
could play
cushion
this, he could
fraction.
play
Yeah.
to try and hit the red at pace, full ball,
And back
try and
touch
get
to you.
topspin on the cue ball, to follow the cue ball up
Yeah.
the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue on the spot, yeah?
Yeah.
Both shots are just
Okay, John. Mark?
Thank you.
Thank you.
just tough not to leave anything.
Change of shot. Well, he tried. And that's all he could do in the end, he thought. Play the pot, try and screw back. I suppose if the red doesn't pass the blue, it'd have been safe, but the red does.
Thank you. Quiet, please.
Red, blue, one more red to go to the mid-session interval with a 4-frame advantage. And just 2 away from the title.
Yeah, it's turning into a bit of a procession now. John Higgins is just not able.
6.
to get in to the frames early. He's won one frame tonight. He's just not been able to string any more together. It's, as I said before, it's looking ominous.
7.
In goes the pink. No way back now for John Higgins. And what John Higgins needed this evening was to play well to score heavy. But
13.
he's not scored heavy. He's had a few chances. But against someone like Mark
14.
Selby, you can't rely on getting 2 or 3 chances a frame.
No, and he's definitely sprinting towards the winning line, Mark Selby. Okay, still needs 2 more frames, but it's hard to see
21.
any other result at the moment other than him retaining the title. I mean, you're right, John Higgins off at your peril, but you kind of look at things to give you hope, and he's just not been able to attack Mark Selby tonight.
27.
No, and when Mark Selby is in full flow, he's hard to stop.
28.
It's hard to get him in trouble with the safety, hard to outscore him.
Yeah.
And now he's got that skip in his step that is making him look formidable. But every credit to him though, Stephen. 9-3 behind, 10-4 behind.
Yep, he looked completely
Sorry, Mark.
disillusioned yesterday. Completely
35.
outplayed by his opponent. But he somehow found the will and the belief to win the last 3 frames last night.
36.
And he's certainly now playing with a smile on his face. The jester from Leicester. He'll be enjoying it out there.
43.
And there's Danny Willett and Nico out of Iron Maiden. They love the snooker.
48.
And I was talking to Nico, the drummer out of Iron Maiden, and he was saying he just loves the theatre of the Crucible. You know, and what
52.
snooker creates. And it is real theatre. But at the moment,
57.
it's a virtuoso performance by the defending champion.
63.
Made breaks of 54 at the start of this frame. And that 70 will take him to the interval. And John Higgins with it all to do, 4 behind. Mark Selby just 2 away from his 3rd World Championship. 16-12.
And with it, a successful defence. Only Steve Davis, Stephen Hendry and Ronnie O'Sullivan have ever done that at the Crucible. It would be quite an achievement for him to do it, and he looks like he's marching all the way. And significantly for you guys, you were saying when we were off air there that, you know, just the confidence levels and the shot selection that he's now being able to establish out there.
I mean, he played his shot on the pink in the centre pocket here, which we're going to show you. And honestly, this is absolutely fraught with danger. Loads of pressure. Miss it, you're going to leave a very good chance for John Higgins. He just got down and rolled it straight in the middle. I mean, far from easy, that shot.
Yeah, hard for John Higgins not to consider that the writing is on the wall here, because not only does he know that Mark Selby is getting in the groove and potting pressure balls, but also the luck's not going with him either.
Yeah.
The early exchanges there, a couple of safety shots that were quite cruel to John Higgins. And when that happens, it's very hard not to give up. He won't. And you can only try frame after frame, frame by frame, but it just does seem inevitable now.
It does, yes, but you never know. There's life left in this Crucible final, obviously, and I'm sure you'll stay with us.
performance I've seen for many, many years. Stuart Bingham, 2015 world champion.
4 little words, winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Once again, your champion, Mark Selby.
Yep, from Tennessee Williams to Mark Williams, this little theatre has seen it and staged it all. And I just wonder how popular a move it has been for World Snooker to sign with Sheffield City Council another 10 years to keep it here until at least the 50th anniversary of this great championship in 2027.
I think it got a huge roar on the night on Friday before the tournament started, and hopefully that will stop people asking the question, is it going to go to China? Because it happens all the time.
And Barry said, absolutely not whilst he's at the helm, that's for sure.
This is where it should be played. This is the Wembley for snooker. You've got all you people, young lads out there, you're playing the game, come and play at the Crucible. This is where you aspire to play. It's the best venue in the world for snooker.
And as a sporting venue, not just a snooker venue, is this, would you say, now even more on the bucket list of sports fans around the world, just to come and sample this, John?
It should be. Honestly, the atmosphere is fantastic. I've been out there today around Crucible Corner. There's been nationalities from everywhere have flown in for today's final, and they're all fascinated, and they've never been in before. And I said, oh, you're in for a treat. The atmosphere is like nowhere else.
And do you know what? There's people queuing up to get in here, and the sadness is there's empty seats. Those seats are already sold, and there's got to be some way of working out how you can get extra people in who are waiting and queuing up. If you don't get in your seat by a certain time and you haven't made a phone call to a certain number, they're then given to real fans.
Well, it's certainly oversubscribed. We know that already for next year. And it's been playing to fantastic houses the whole time. The championship, the prize money continues to grow. It's 375,000 this year, going up to 425 next year. And that really is symptomatic of the boom times that we now have in snooker.
Fabulous. It's a massive turnaround. I mean, the year I retired, I was 7 tournaments I could play in. You know, I could have bought myself a taxi and driven around that all the year. I couldn't play. There was literally no tournaments to play in. Now, there isn't a week that's free. If you want to play snooker, you can go and play snooker. It's a brilliant turnaround.
It is, and in fact, the new season starts in only a couple of weeks' time, actually, because we've got Q School starting, and then before you know it, the summer events will be underway. But first of all, we've got to finish off this season's climax, and it's the defending champion, Mark Selby, now just 2 frames away from a 3rd world title. And it's time to see this final over the line. 2 former champions, Dennis Taylor, Ken Doherty, are the men for that job. Evening, fellas.
Very good evening, Hazel. And what have we left in store in this final? Can John Higgins come out and claw his way back? It's not beyond him, Ken.
No, definitely not beyond them, but he's going to need something from inside, drawing all that fantastic experiences that he's witnessed himself here, 4 times champion, of course. He's going to need to play his best and no miss snooker from now on in. Can he do it? It's going to be tough against this man who has played from 10-4 down, Dennis. It's just an incredible, incredible performance.
It really is, and to think that he could win it 3 times in 4 years in the modern game, I mean, that would be quite something. But and there's the little lady on the top that everybody likes to give a little kiss. Oh no, the dreaded double kiss. Not the best start for John, and there's 1 red at the back of the bunch that's available as well, so it's an early chance for Mark Selby.
Yeah, he's got a nice angle. When potting this, coming off the ball cushion, side cushion for a ball colour. And he should have a nice angle if the cue ball, well, slowed up a little bit off that side cushion. He's shaping up to take this green on. He's having a look at that red you talked about just at the back of the pack. If he can hold for that, he will. If he can't, he'll
Green ball.
could possibly go offside and bottom cushion and into the pack. Let's see what he does here.
I've noticed he's done quite a bit of that, where he's down on the shot, then he gets up again, has a look at the angle before he plays it. He's certainly making sure of things. I think he's going to hold on that red that I mentioned.
Yeah, it's funny that. It's when he did get up because he said good timing to someone who just coughed when he was on his backswing. When he puts this, he'll bring some more reds into play. Needs the cue ball to get off that side cushion now.
5.
Everything going into the heart of the pocket, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's not far off the cushion and he cued this beautifully. I mean, right smack in the middle of the pocket, as Ken says, and red in the middle, up for the pink. And then he can please himself because he's got a couple of reds available. Or he could go into the pack.
13.
And it's a nice pack to go into. But there seems to be a few available. And he's taking the blue to play for the individual red there. Yeah, yesterday at one stage when he was so far behind, he'd lost his timing, and people were saying, well, might not have a session this evening the way John Higgins was playing. But what a turnaround.
90.
Yeah, he was almost completely all at sea. It looked he was very tired in that second session. Looked like he completely gone, and how he's turned this match around is quite remarkable. That's
And
what champions do, I suppose, Dennis, eh?
And usually when you're playing well, there's always something like this available to you. Look at that. When you're struggling, there's never a plant there.
No loose red, no, but he is blessed with tremendous cue pair. He's going to need it here to split the reds. Watch the cue ball. There you go, the second. Body language suggests he's not on the red.
He did get the spin, but it just spun back into the reds. We'll just show you. Watch the white as it stops here, and then
We'll leave it till after.
all of a sudden it spins right back. There's something on one of the balls there, but Jan Verhaas said, well, I'll leave it till after this shot. It's a bit of an awkward place to be cleaning the cue ball.
Maybe having a go at this red into the left centre. He'd be playing it with an element of safety. Well, decided against it. It was
34.
too fine of it. Caught into the middle.
I'm not sure what that was. Jan will tell us later. That's a terrific shot from John Higgins there. And John also looks a little tired, just rubbing his eyes there, but that red going in the middle will make him feel a little bit better. Could do with a sizable contribution here. Oh, it needs to pull up. It needs to pull up, and it is.
4.
Well, he's good on both reds here. He can put this screw back for pink or blue and bring the rest of the reds into play here. Just be careful of the in-off in the middle. No, he's got into it too much. He's okay. I was hoping to be on blue or pink there, but I screwed that by quite some margin. Well, it's these situations, Dennis, that John Higgins really has to capitalise upon if he's to find a way back into this match. In the early part of this match, he would have won the frame from this position. Different story when been kept out for so long.
The black's a little awkward from this right-hand side. He may have to play up for the pink here. He's coming around to see if he can just reach it with the extension, but up for the pink and then it back on its spot. He's got a terrific chance. Yeah, earlier this season, I mentioned before, against Stuart Bingham in China, he was 7 frames all and finished the match with 3 century breaks. Oh, what he'd give for finding that sort of form here.
$23. 24. 31. 32.
The red that's close to the right-hand side cushion would be no problem for John Higgins, being a right-hander. And I'm just wondering whether the only red that may be the most difficult is the one next to the yellow. He's just coming to have a look at that now. Does it pot into the
38.
green pocket? Looks very, very close, almost touching that yellow. I think it may be on though. And that's how I always ask how far players are thinking ahead. Well, possibly thinking at least 6 shots ahead there.
$45. 46.
He'd love to get, well, I've got the other white there. If he screwed over from the pink, anywhere near that would be ideal. That's okay.
Beautiful shot. He Mark's just having another look at that
52.
red. Just roll this red in. Nice angle on the black.
53.
One good positional shot to get on that red beside the yellow. Needs to slow down. Needs to slow down.
60.
Well, it looks tight, but it will go.
He would have liked to be on a bit straighter, wouldn't he, Dennis? And he just ran on that cue ball just to make this putt a little bit more awkward than he would have liked.
Any colour with this red would make the frame safe. Nicely cleared.
61.
And nicely onto the black.
Well, this has been a fantastic break. This has been John Higgins at his best, Dennis.
68.
Well, it's amazing the interval came just at the right time for John. He would have had a chance to maybe chat with his brother Jason and just talk things over and come out, and well, this is what he's had to do, and he's done it. And what about this for a positional shot?
70. '73.
Well, we did say if ever a time John Higgins needed a good
77.
frame winning break, it was now, and he's produced the goods. This is superb.
82.
He's backward right against the wall, and what does he do? He produces a magnificent break of 88, and he pulls one back. It's now 16-15.
Yep, the four-time champion summons some more resistance, and that was a smashing break, John.
He's a class act. He always has been. And he's made of Scottish girders. He's a very hard competitor, always has been. The two hardest match players I ever played in all my career, one is sitting next to me here, and he's the other one. Honestly, if you got him in a draw, it was an absolute nightmare. He's got so many good qualities. He's a break builder. He never plays the wrong shot, and he's got an unbelievable desire to win.
And you're sitting like Mark Selby, in a comfortable position now, but this man's on your tail, and I wonder how comfortable that position really is under those circumstances for Mark.
Well, he's got a bit of breathing space, but he's not even on the hill yet, so there is room for John Higgins to get back into it. But I think all that's being thrown at Mark Selby in this match, you know, I think he'd be in pretty strong mental condition. Yeah. But, you know, John Higgins has been asleep quite a lot in this match, the latter part of it. It's nice that he's come alive a bit. It may be a little bit too late, but you never know.
There's nothing focuses the mind, though, thinking that you've got to play no-miss snooker. Ken mentioned it in commentary, and I'm always saying the same thing. That actually focuses your brain. You know, you actually get yourself under a little bit of pressure, but it also focuses yourself thinking, I can't afford to make a mistake here.
And yeah, and the thing about it, it's not even that, but it is that. But it's what it is that you stop worrying. You've got nothing to worry about. You just play. So you freeze your mind up more. And one of the biggest problems of a still ball game is what's going through your mind before and during the shot. And if all of a sudden all you can do is just play, then I think you're in a great situation.
When he comes back out here, he's obviously trying to forget about the last few hours here because, you know, as a snooker player, when someone has punished you to the degree that Mark Selby has, winning, what, 12 out of 14 frames, how do you feel? How do you react? How do you ask yourself to respond out there?
Well, you only find out when you're in the circumstances, and John's been able to do it over the years. He's got to find something from here all the way in, but his determination and his grit, and he knows there's a winning post in this session, and that makes all the difference.
Yes, indeed. The winning post. he's seen it many, many times over his career. He certainly produced the goods. He's back against the wall in that frame. But as John Part said in the studio, he's got to do it time and time again. He's got to play almost no miss snooker, and it's a good start from John Higgins.
You always feel, as long as your opponent needs 2 frames, that you're in with a chance. It's when it gets to the 17 and he only needs the 1 frame. This packed crucible, is there going to be some late night drama?
Foul.
Got to be careful of the free ball here. If it runs, it may be a free ball. Ooh,
John Higgins full.
just short of the brown.
A little bit of a smile there from John. John played a shot like this earlier today. I don't know whether he was thinking about that, and a different circumstance, but similar type of skip, and he went in off the brown 3 times. It was quite amusing. John was smiling, Mark was, the whole crowd was. He needed 4 attempts just to flick a red like this. There has been some brilliant safety play. Just the 10 hours of hard match play snooker. John's highest break, magnificent 141. Mark Selby had a 1-2-1. And he's being ultra careful again not to push a red towards the corner pocket when he plays the safety shot. He really has been keeping it as tight as he possibly can.
Foul. And a miss. John Higgins.
He was after a thin one because he didn't want to knock a red over the corner pocket.
Yeah, we'll have that up, please. Paul.
Might need a little bit of help here, Jan, to get the white in the exact spot.
Just over the bolt line, yeah?
Yeah.
Towards me a little bit. Just a touch more to me.
That's Paul Collier,
Yeah,
one
that's
of our
fine.
senior referees as well.
John, thank you.
And the reason why Mark Selby is going down the left-hand side of the table because he's afraid, as Dennis mentioned, of pushing the red. If he plays the safety down the right-hand side, that's a bit better. He's got to avoid the blue.
Well, he would dearly love to get in behind the green. Needs to miss the brown though. He's played it well. He's played it very well.
Well, that's an excellent return, safety. And the fact that the cue ball is so close to the green, it just hampers his cueing. A little grimace from John will tell you this is not too pretty. Not straightforward either to get the cue ball back to bulk.
How thin will he have to hit this one? He could quite easily go in off or wobble in the jaws of the corner pocket here. Oh, he played it well. Yeah, he's a top on the table. He's a thin ball wizard.
Well, that was fantastic. Excellent shot. He took the paint off it. A little appreciation from Mark Selby. It's nice to see. Even in the heat of battle, playing for such a wonderful prize, they still applaud each other's fantastic shots. It's true sportsmanship.
Now then, doesn't make many mistakes, the defending champion. This time he got that double kiss, the old DDK, the dreaded double kiss, and John's got a chance now.
Hold for the black here into the same pocket. Yes, he could. Put a lot of right hand side. It's okay.
8.
He thought for a moment that cue ball was just going to pass that red and block this pot, but it's absolutely perfect now for him. He's got a few reds here before he decides to go into the pack.
In the
16.
last frame, and he's first in this one. And he's got an angle
70.
now to pot the black and split the reds, because he's got that one to the right corner as a little bit of insurance should he not split them nicely. He'll have to get the spider out to get to that though, but he's certainly brought other reds into play.
24.
Just show you it again as the white doesn't spin back that much, but fact, he needs the swan neck spider to get over a few of the reds. Oh, it's awkward, very awkward. Well played.
Yeah, good shot. Denise and the family look on. Now, there's anything pot into this left-hand centre pocket. He's had a quick glance at those two reds just above the pink. It's okay. I think he's just on the red to the right centre, and he can
32.
drop it in for the blue or the pink here. Pink could be ideal because he could hold for these reds and play a better cannon from the pink than the blue. May not have the nice angle to stay for the pink, so it looks like the blue. Now,
33.
top side of the blue, and he's back in prime position. Dennis, it looks like he's stepped up this pace around the table as well. He seems to be playing with a bit more of a spring and a step.
Okay.
Maybe that last frame has given him that bit of confidence that he was
38.
lacking over the last few frames.
Yeah, as I say, he had the interval just to have a chat with probably Jason, his brother, as I mentioned, and he knows what he's capable of doing. And this is terrific stuff from John Higgins. What a response this is.
$39.
When potting this pink into the left corner pocket, he's going to play one slight little cannon just to develop the reds a bit more. Now, he's lost the cue ball. He just needed to glance off that red, and he would have been perfect.
45.
Just hit a full ball, didn't he?
Yeah, it was more of a little stun that he needed there. This will still cut back, and he can finish on one of the balk colours. It's a sort of a free shot. In fact, he could hold for the blue, which is even better. And there's the Higgins family. Claudia, Pierce, Oliver, and Denise. The boys were interviewed yesterday and they spoke very well. John must have been so proud of them.
$52.
Yeah, of course, John's mother, Josephine, in the Players' Lounge. It was her birthday yesterday. There's two brothers. Jason and Joseph are here also, as long as lots of friends.
58. $59.
Just a couple more pots needed to secure this frame.
Couldn't have played that any better.
66. 67.
The Wizard of Wishaw is waving that magic wand at the moment, that's for sure.
73. $74. $81.
Not only is this going to give John Higgins a lot of confidence, it does send a message back to his opponent.
82.
Saying that if you leave me a chance, I'm going to take it now. Just as important. This has been a fantastic couple of frames from John Higgins just when he needed it.
89. $90.
It's not going to be easy to get the century. They've both had 7 centuries in this year's Betfred World Championship. Ding Junhui has had 13. How well did he play? Now will this just drop in?
97. $98.
Well played, John Higgins. Fantastic stuff.
Well played, John Higgins. Career number 50 at the this season.
$104.
672 centuries he's made now in his career.
There's only Ronnie O'Sullivan and Stephen Hendry ahead of him in that department, Ken.
111.
Well, is the ever going to go in? No, but what a magnificent 111 from the 4-time champion of the world, John Higgins. He claws another one back. There's only 2 in it now, but the defending champion, Mark Selby, still leads by 16 frames to 14.
And that's John's 50th century of the season. It's the 73rd of the championship. And by the way, our sponsors, courtesy of Fred Dunn, has actually donated £40,000 to the Jessie May Children's Hospice. He was going to do that if we'd reached and smashed the 86 record from the last couple of years ago, but has decided to do it anyway. So thank you very much. I'm sure there'll be an awful lot of people very pleased with that. But this is what they want to see. They want to see a comeback. They want to see the tension in this final session of the Crucible, John. They're getting it.
Said he was tough, didn't I? I mean, that is just... I mean, he's lost, what, 12 frames to 2 from being 10-4 up. And somewhere, the great champions find it. I mean, 2 magnificent frames of snooker with your back to the wall, looking like you're done all ends up. Where do you find that from?
Well, this is an interesting one, Steve, because last year in the final against Ding Junhui, Mark Selby was 16-11 up. Ding Junhui won 3 on the trot to get to 14, and from there, Selby broke him. But he has had to withstand this sort of thing before.
Yeah, but it's the swings and roundabouts of being in front, being behind, and from John Higgins' perspective, he's got a different body language. Nothing to fear now. He's just going for it. And Mark Selby have been in exactly the same situation. It's getting close now, so they're both going to be running on adrenaline only.
Not a bad break-off shot. And Mark Selby's now going to have to call on all his experience. It's his 3rd final in 4 years, but he knows that his opponent is flying at the moment. And he looks, all of a sudden, quite a bit fresher. He's up for this. Push the red towards the pocket. Is there going to be a gap? No. Well, maybe. But Steve Davis is absolutely right. At this stage of a final, you just don't feel tired. It's just adrenaline that keeps you going.
Well, that brown maybe just a guide for John Higgins for this long pot. He was so confident, Dennis. He was using the brown, and that's why he played it so softly to hold for the black. Yeah, little Roy smile. Almost 30 minutes since Mark Selby potted the last ball. Now, what has the defending champion got? His back has been up against the wall in this championship many times over the last 4 years, and he's produced the goods.
8.
As I mentioned in the studio, he was 16-11 ahead in last year's final, and Ding Junhui came back to 16-14, winning 3 frames in a row. But Mark produced the goods to win the last 2. He's going to have to do something very similar tonight. He's got great bottle though, Dennis. One of his great and many assets, I suppose, is his temperament. He's not going to flinch.
He's okay to play out for the single red. He's just looking to see if there is an angle there. Well, he would have played for this red to the middle pocket. Now he's going to have to take it up into the corner.
16.
So is he going to run through for the blue, which is a better angle to go into the pink and reds than from the black? All depends on the angle he has on this red. Now he's going to have to screw back for the black. You can see him striking right down at the bottom of the cue ball.
17.
Key shot coming up as we show you that red disappear. Stun shot into the right side of the reds rather than screwing it. And he's played it perfectly. That's a terrific shot.
24.
Couldn't have played it much better, as you said. It was just a stun shot, and how he controlled that cue ball. Kept it away from the cushion. Red to left centre.
25.
The red that's closest to the cue ball will possibly be his next choice after this black. Now, he's having a look
32.
to see what else will go. Nothing into the left centre from this right hand side of the table, so a nice angle after putting this red on to get on the black.
33.
There is one red available into the right centre. He's coming around to have a look at that now. He's playing for it in the corner pocket, but that's the loose red, just
40.
left hand side of the pack. It's 5 reds, 5 blacks, but you can be sure Mark Selby is not thinking about any maximum here. He's just trying to win the frame from this position.
I'm not sure what that was, but he's had a look into the audience, and Jan Verhaas has had a look, so I don't know if someone had said something. So close to the table.
$41.
As Ken said, he'd no thoughts. I'm trying to stay on all blacks there. It's all about winning the frame here. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. What has he done there? He
46.
missed the brown, but he didn't hit it hard enough. And nestled in behind the yellow. What a mistake that was. And that's Vicky there. She would have been surprised by that. I watch it. He was concentrating on missing the brown, but with the side, it just took it in behind the yellow. He needed more pace.
Mark Selby, 46.
46 break, but he'd be very, very disappointed he didn't get more. Cue ball up behind the green, tight on the ball cushion. Could put Mark Selby in a bit of trouble here. Got to get this cue ball tight.
Just Mark on his way back. Is he giving himself a little telling off there? That's unusual, that. He's fired up, that's for sure.
Well, he's looking at 2 reds into this bottom right corner pocket. Possible plant. There's a bit of distance between. There they are. It's gone to the left-hand side of the pocket, but there's a bit of distance between these 2 reds. What a brave shot to take on at such a stage.
Well, he's got to get it because he's going right into the other reds. He'd put them all over the table. But he's pretty good at plants. He was a world pool champion also.
It's very, very risky. If he gets it and he gets on a colour, he'll win the frame. If he misses it, it could cost him the frame. He's got a 46-point lead. He's shaping up to take this on. This is extremely risky. Oh, what a shot.
Look, he wasn't guaranteed to get nicely on the black. He was on the black for the middle until that red blocked his path through. So just tucking in behind the black. Oh,
foul.
He didn't reach it.
Did it hit? I didn't see it hit, Mark. No? No.
Well, Jan said he didn't
Mark
see
Selby
it.
1, John Higgins 7.
Mark thought it did, but we could have another look at that, I suppose.
We can't have a replay, John.
Oh,
And I honestly
he
didn't
can't
see
have
it
a
hit.
replay, unfortunately. Let's have a look. Difficult to see from that angle.
It hit? Okay. Okay. No. If they say it hit, then it's fine with me.
Yeah, John's not querying it. He says if
Mark
it hit,
Selby
it hit.
won then, yeah? Yeah, no, I'm good with that.
I mean, it's our game. We're so proud of players calling fouls on each other, and
Well, it certainly makes a difference. It's only the referee that can overrule himself. Nobody can overrule him. So,
Well, if they're not sure, then honestly, I didn't see it hit. I'm going to stick with my decision then.
yeah. I don't know. I'm not quite sure whether anybody can overrule the referee, but just
No. I'm going to... I'm going to stick with what I saw, and I didn't see it hit, so I'm going to stick with the foul 7. Okay. Okay.
Didn't look like it moved. I mean, Jan is probably the best referee we've had ever in the game. 23 years refereeing top-class snooker, and I think he's made the right decision there.
It was very hard to see, wasn't it? Because Jan, such a big guy, he was in the way. The camera couldn't even pick it up, so it was quite difficult. And what it's done is put Mark in. He's got to drop onto this red, onto the left-hand side cushion. He's got to hit it dead weight to try and cover the red that's over the left middle. This has to be so precise. Excellent shot. Well played.
Let's have a look at it from this angle.
I don't think it did, Dennis, from that angle. What a shot under pressure that was.
Oh, what a shot. He took the most difficult red off the cushion.
7.
Wow, what drama here at the Crucible. And just can't beat this. It's getting very interesting and very exciting.
It's getting very tense as well.
$15. $16.
The only problem ball that may arise is the one on the right-hand side cushion, but again, John being a right-hander, if he gets behind it with the cue ball close enough to it, shouldn't be too much of a problem.
$22. $23.
I think if Mark does
30.
lose this frame, I think he's got to believe in himself that he didn't hit the black there, that it doesn't affect him. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
31.
Nicely on this red.
36. $37.
He's got the easy red to play for, but he could play for the one on the right. He may not do that, but that's where eventually he'd like to get in the middle of that circle. He's playing for the easier one first. But now it's imperative that he gets a good angle.
42.
And he's left himself a bit straight on this, because he was looking for an angle to either move that red or just drop in behind it where I had the circle.
That's the first sign of a bit of tension in the back of John's arm. Overshot that cue ball by At least 2 feet.
Oh, that was the problem, but I still think he can drop in behind it where I had the circle. He's got an angle, but the black is going to be so tough. If he rolls
43.
the black, I'm sure he'll finish in that circle, but the black is so tough. What a big shot this is. No, no.
John Higgins,
at least he hasn't
43.
Stuck the red up. A lot of pressure on that one.
Yeah, it wasn't the ideal position, was it? And particularly after the previous blue to red. Still, the way he was playing, you'd fancy him potting it, but never even got the cue ball close to the red. It's just pressure. It's a clever little shot from Mark Selby. 4-ball snooker on the pink. Okay, easy hit.
Oh, if he just lands on it, he's given the advantage to Mark. It's going to be so easy for Mark here to put him in trouble, and that's what Mark Selby would have known when he played that last shot. Thin off this, every chance of getting a snooker. No, he's got the gap on the. That wasn't the best that Mark's ever played.
Just wondering if he plays the cross double here, or is he playing the red back into balk? He's playing the red back into balk. He's got to avoid the green. This looks a bit heavy. It looks a bit heavy if it bounces. He's left a chance for Mark Selby. Okay. Not easy. He's coming around to have a look at the potting angle. And it certainly pots into this top right hand corner pocket.
Oh, he's got away with that one. He thought he was going to avoid the cannon on the brown. I say he's got away with it, but a chance for John Higgins to put in a really telling safety here, and possibly a snooker. Just leave the white where the red is.
Thank you.
He would have loved that red to have travelled up towards the brown. It would have made it very difficult for Mark Selby. And the middle pocket seems to be slightly in the way of the one cushion escape. So he'll have to play it with lots of side if he's going to come off one cushion. And no matter how good you are, you need a little bit of good fortune when you're getting out of a snooker to put them safe. Coming off two cushions here. Same thing applies. Can he hit it and knock it safe? Oh, it's going over the middle pocket. Where's the cue ball going? Surely not a snooker behind the blue. He's coming around anxiously to have a look. He's going to have to swerve this. Well, no, he can hit it.
Okay, settle down, please. Thank you.
Green puts him 7 points ahead.
4.
Problem ball is green to brown. But he's going to need brown and blue to leave Mark Selby needing a snooker.
Six.
What he would give to get in that circle, but has he got the angle to get over there? He can leave the brown into the other middle pocket. Needs to. Doesn't want to finish half and half. He's a bit too close to the brown, is he? It'll still go past the black. As you can see, brown and blue needed to get another one back.
Can he hold it for the blue? The black is a good guide. Good shot. Crowd certainly like it. 16 points ahead. The blue to cut the deficit to 1.
Well, what drama we've got here. And in goes the 34. What a comeback from John Higgins. Quite incredible. He now is only just 1 frame behind. It's 16-15.
This final started at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. We're in the 31st frame there. And is that one of the key moments that will ultimately decide the outcome of this final in the 40th anniversary championship? Let's just remind you of what went on out there just a few moments ago.
Foul. Did it hit? I didn't see it hit, Mark.
No?
No. Mark Selby 1, John Higgins 7. Free ball. Honestly, didn't see it hit. But if they're not sure, then honestly, I didn't see it hit. I'm going to stick with my decision then.
Now, from that decision, John Higgins has won the frame clearly, and he's only 1 behind in this final. And let's get the opinions of Steve and John. We were watching very closely there. First of all, John, what were your impressions of this?
I don't think it's touched.
Okay.
I think the referee's got it right. I think what is confusing here when it's rolling up is it's the light on the other angle that we showed. You can't see from that one because Jan's in the way. But the one with the light, it's actually the light on the ball, not this. You can see it coming up, and it makes it look like it moves. I don't think he touches it. This one here. So the ball, because the ball is getting close, you can see it magnified on the black. I don't think it quite gets there.
Steve, your impression and why?
Well, from one angle, I thought it had moved, and then from other angles, I don't think it did. That's as close as it ever happened. And actually, if the cue ball comes to the black and rests on the black, that is deemed to have touched it.
Yeah.
So there must have been a hit for them to be separation. Otherwise, Jan would have said touching ball, he's hit it. So therefore, that black would have had to have moved or the cue ball rocked back. I don't think it did touch it, so I think Jan was correct. He was the closest to it. I know we've got action replays, but he was the closest to it.
The decision stands, but clearly this is very much in Mark Selby's mind, you would imagine. How does he put it out of his mind at this point, and how badly do you think it's going to affect him here?
Well, he's a defending champion, he's a champion of the world. I know what his temperament is like. I think he'll cope with it. But it's not a nice way to do it. Listen, you know as well as we'd have helped if we could have done, but it's inconclusive. But Jan ultimately is the decision with the referee.
So Mark Selby breaks off. This frame 32. Still only requires 2 for victory. The gap was 4. It's now just 1. Was asked about John Higgins. What had he got left? He's certainly shown us his last couple of frames. Fantastic so far.
Eight.
He's knocked a good few of these in. I mean, it's terrific cueing, but under the circumstances now, that was very special. But his last positional shot wasn't the best. He can roll this into the corner. He's slightly hampered with that red.
John Higgins, 8.
He didn't get much of a run of the ball earlier this afternoon. Every time he missed, he seemed to stick one up, and when Mark missed, he got away with it. John's got away with it that time. Well, that last shot again, I mean, Jan Verhaas, as he played, watch Jan Verhaas coming into the shot. Look, Jan, he couldn't be any closer. He had the best view. That's why he's one of the all-time great referees. That's a terrific long pot. He wanted a little bit more pace to be on the black. He's got the straight blue, but it's not easy to get onto a red from that. Well, he feels he can see enough of the black. That's a terrific shot, especially if he's on the red. But
8.
He's not on the red, but what a great effort. Another few inches, and not only would it have been a terrific pot, but a terrific positional shot.
Mark Selby, 8.
I just hope this next shot that John's playing doesn't knock the black safe. He wouldn't want to see that either, the way he's playing.
He could easily glance off the red just below the pink and put the cue ball up towards the yellow pocket, but maybe leaving that red is just sticking out left of the pack of reds, just left of the black there. So that's why he's reluctant to play that shot. Doesn't want to leave a touching ball here though when he plays this. If he's a touching ball, he could be in a bit of trouble. No touching ball. Doesn't leave John much choice here.
Not touching. Were you surprised that Mark just rolled into the pack there, Ken?
Well,
while they're having a I thought it was a bit of a funny little shot to play, but it didn't take them long to decide to start the frame again. They were going nowhere with that, and look at this, Ken. Look at the atmosphere, the crowd there.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I love this camera angle as the camera pans down over the crowd. It's blessed with such the home of the World Championships here, the Crucible Theatre, Sheffield. You can feel the tension even here in the commentary box, Dennis. Our hands are perspiring slightly. The atmosphere is electric. No better place to be for a professional snooker player.
Frame 32.
So here we go again. Not the best break off. You can see Mark as he peeled away towards his chair. He was disappointed. He's left John Higgins a free shot here. He hasn't missed many of those in the last few frames.
John, once again, as he's done so many times in this match with his chalk, just tapping the table in acknowledgement. But there's been some brilliant tactical play there. John just tapping the table. So it's two cushions and into the back of the reds. You still have to be a little careful. You have to judge it just right.
Touching ball.
Touching ball, but Mark might just be able to reach this. He's quite a tall lad, Mark, but he's going to need his little extension to help him possibly reach this to cut it in.
Just wondering, Mark's just having a quick look when he puts the red. He'd be cannon in the red just to the right of the black, but in turn that may push the black towards this bottom left hand corner pocket.
It's awkward. He might just play around the angles now, get it in behind the green, tight on the cushion, just to the right of where his chalk is there.
pretty good. Cover the reds down the right hand side. Okay, he's got a straightforward shot, escape and nestle into the reds.
Well, we were here in the previous frame. We're back where there's not many options available. We could have another re-rack.
Thank you.
Might be able to get down the table this time off that one to the left of the white. If you can get a little bit of screw on it, or just use the pink also to glance off it. Yeah, he's played off the red and the pink. Oh, the nudge on the green has helped John's case.
He's looking at the red left of the pink, but if the brown maybe wasn't so close to the cue ball, certainly wouldn't contemplate taking this on for so long. It's just cueing. He's got to be very, very careful with. He's taking it on. That was superb. Is he on the pink? That tells us a story. He's not.
But Ken, what a positive shot to take on at this stage, because look what he was leaving. If the red doesn't go in, as we show you, this terrific cueing again, and just very unlucky. He thought he was going to be on the pink, but straight away you can tell with the body language, there it is, that he wasn't on the pink. But look where he left the cue ball.
Brown ball.
John would have been right in amongst them.
Mark Selby won.
he's okay. There may be a red available, but it's not in the perfect spot. The blue's a good target. The green and brown's a good target. So he's got choices of where he puts the cue ball this time. Green and brown are a slightly bigger target to get behind. Just be careful, John. You don't want to do yourself an injury at this stage.
Too much haggis.
Too much haggis, he said it. I don't know about this one. He hasn't got it over far enough. There's a gap through and the reds have opened up. This is a key shot coming up. But where's the gap? If he takes it on, he'll have to pot it. Look at those two reds and the black and the other reds. What a shot he'd have to play here to stay for the black.
Well, he potted a red earlier next to the pink. He took it on. He was very, very positive. If there was a gap, straightforward gap to get back to baulk, you'd fancy him 9 out of 10 to pot this, but sometimes those other reds, they just cloud your vision. Very good, very good. Needs a bit of luck.
One.
That was some pot.
Yeah, you're never sure where they're going to finish, but it was all about making sure to knock the red in, and he did that. He's got a slight angle on the yellow to play for the red that's just to the right of the pink here. There's a few other reds available, but that would be the easiest one to get on. But there's nothing easy. He's going to have to get so much screw on this yellow. Now, how's your luck, Mark? He's okay. There's one available into the right corner.
Well, Dennis, how well did he hit that yellow? You could hear the yellow hit the back of the pocket. And there was so much pressure on that shot, but he couldn't have hit it any sweeter. What a fantastic pot. And positional shot as well.
Four.
Slightly heavy contact, just taking a bit of the pace of the cue ball.
How costly is that safety shot that John attempted, where he didn't quite get enough side on it? That's what he was looking for there, and he just didn't get enough side on it. Left it just to the left of where he was playing it, and this is the result.
Well,
Pink is on into the bottom right-hand corner pocket, but he's looking at the black, and I'm just wondering, as long as the black isn't tied up, the red to the right of the black spot looks slightly in the way.
And what I've noticed, Ken, he's moving around the table much quicker and not studying the shot as much as he was earlier. He's back playing at his natural pace.
He played that. Didn't look much, that shot, but he judged it to perfection. Needed to get on this red here. You can pot the red.
19.
Pot the black now. The red I spoke about earlier, the one just to the bottom right of the black, needs that out of the way as soon as possible, so can free the black into both corner pockets. Pink is also available into the left centre and bottom right hand corner pockets, so he's got plenty of options.
$27.
But it all came from that opening red, Dennis. There was so much pressure on that.
He's played for that red that you mentioned, Ken, and this is that opening red. Wasn't sure what was going to happen to the cue ball, but it was such a good pot. He deserved to be on something. This is why
35.
He's the defending champion and why he's been #1 in the world for just over 2 years, because he's producing this sort of stuff under extreme pressure.
Bit of adrenaline.
42.
Too much left-hand side there.
Yeah. 43.
Just calling for the cue ball to be clean. Just composing himself. The pink will put him 50 points ahead. 2 reds and blacks to follow. That will be 66 points ahead with a possible 67 remaining, so he's going to need at least a contact with
49.
the 5 reds around the below the pink.
Play the cannon that Ken suggested. He's got the other red as a bit of insurance, so just doesn't need to hit these too hard. Any sort of cannon will do, as long as he frees one of them. He's got the other one that's to the left of the black there. Just needed a little nudge, and that was all it took. I think there's one available at the back of that little bunch of reds there.
Black to put him 66 ahead. The bottom red of the 5 does pot, so one more red, and he's 1 frame away from being champion of the world once
65.
more. This has been an incredible response from the defending champion.
66.
Was against the wall. He needed a response, and he's responded. Great aplomb. This is
73.
what all the great champions are made of. When your back's against the wall, when you need a good break,
74.
you're able to hold yourself together under the extreme pressure. And boy, has he done it in this frame.
Well, this is a player that's made 55 centuries this season, 47 last season.
81.
473 in total.
82.
If he does get a century here, it will be one of his best. We've had 73 so far this year. Mark's had 7. It's a terrific effort, this, it has to be said. All started with that long opening red.
'97. 98.
Brilliant from Mark Selby. 10 up.
104.
He potted a
106.
tremendous opening red, followed by a very good positional shot from the yellow. He's booked this break
109.
magnificently, just when he wanted it.
$113.
What a session we've witnessed in these last few frames. 111 from John
180.
Higgins a few frames ago. Bit of controversy in the last frame, but
120.
Mark Selby has duly put it out of his mind. Magnificent break of 131 from the defending champion, Mark Selby. He's only one away from reclaiming his crown. He leads the 4-time world champion John Higgins by 17 frames to 15.
At the end of the last frame, I asked John and Steve how he put it out of his mind, that controversy in frame 31. There she be.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. You know, he could have sat there and let it fester and worry about what's happened there, but to come back with that century break, the opening red is superb. Horrible shots, but you don't know where the cue ball is going to go. He just made sure he knocked the red in, and then to make that as a response, that's why he's well number one.
Yeah, the top class sports people in the world go by the adage, you stay in the moment. Forget what's gone behind and don't look too far to the future. If you see the finishing line, you're in trouble, but if you dwell on anything as well, you have the same problems. So I think that's one of Mark Selby's greatest strengths.
He's not going to be taking anything for granted, not with a man like 4-times champion John Higgins still there. And what do you make of the way that John has seized his opportunities, particularly after that barrage that he suffered against Mark earlier on in this match?
Well, I think we're pleased to see him come back because we know such a great champion he is, but it's obviously a tall order to sort of overcome it, that as well. But he's made a fight of it, so for certain.
He has. If he does cross the line here, at Mark Selby, it will be a 3rd title in 4 years, and that really would be the most dominant performance in terms of the years going by since a certain Stephen Hendry and Steve Davis here. He's in that bracket you have to feel now. Oh, of course, and Ronnie O'Sullivan as well. Obviously, he's a 5-times champion, but yeah, I mean, Mark Selby's all-round match play deserves to win world championships. But it's the whole package. It's everything, every facet of his game. His safety play is excellent. He knows when to scrap. If you want to have a fight, he can do that. If you want to break the balls open, he can do that. His temperance, as you've just seen, is outstanding. Probably his trump card above anything else. He's just an ultimate machine when it comes to playing matches. Yeah, and currently, for somebody to come along and outplay him, it's some sort of standard they've got to produce because he's always going to be in with a shout. Every World Championship, if he stays in the moment as he's been doing, he's going to be here for at least
5 or 6 years
Oh,
more.
yeah, absolutely.
And I think the very nature of this tournament suits his style of play as well. I think he gets better and he gets stronger. He's had one session here, the start of this match, where the Ding Junhui match took a bit out of him, which is understandable. He wouldn't be human if it didn't. But the nature of this, the fact that it's long matches, long format, it just suits his game, his percentages, the shots he plays, the way he can play the matches. The
His
tournament's made for him.
concentration as well,
Yeah,
stamina,
absolutely.
mental stamina is extraordinary.
Massively
But he's
so.
still got to get across this line. One more to become champion of the world for a third time.
John Higgins to break. Quietly, please.
John Higgins breaks off, and what he hopes won't be his last frame in this year's World Championship. He's anxiously looking to see if he's left a possible red, but even if he has, it's not an angle to take on and get on the black. That's the angle, and it would be heading towards the red and black. I think he'll just push this back up the table, play a safety shot. He'll wait for a much better chance than that. 11 hours of some brilliant snooker. I think he's okay. It's going to wobble. You could hear a few gasps from the Crucible crowd. They thought he was going in off there.
We needed John Virgo to say where the cue ball was going there.
That magnificent 131 break. Just under 11 minutes. To be precise, 10 minutes and 48 seconds. But what a break. Someone making a little bit of noise. Jan Verhaas was just giving someone an evil eye there. 23 years he's been a top class referee. Couldn't meet a nicer fellow either. Oh, he hasn't potted it, has he? Well, did he play that, Ken? What a shot that was.
Oh, I think he did, Dennis. He looked at it a few times. It didn't have many options. He was looking at the pack of reds, but it was a shot from safety. And he's got a good cue ball behind this green.
Yeah, it's definitely safe now, isn't it? But what a cut in it was.
Yeah, as John Virgo said a few times during this final, he's a shot maker, Mark Selby. He can come out with some fantastic shots, and this was certainly one of them.
Well, this is awkward. He's going to need the spider if he's going to come off a couple of cushions and land into the pack. He's going to be awkward cueing this. That's what he's looking at there. My first line's probably out a little bit, but that's what he dearly loved to play. And it's awkward with that spider. Oh, the green moved. Oh, yeah.
Mark Selby 4.
He's going to have it put back again here, but not too many moved.
Pardon? didn't call a miss. He's hit the red.
Oh, it's not a miss.
Yeah, he hit it with his cue.
All right, so he's fouled it, so it's not a miss, yeah.
That's a good call from Jan Verhaas.
You fouled the green with your cue. What you played, the cue ball hit the red, so I can't call a miss. So it's just a foul.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying
I mean, I think Jan knows the rules better than the players. Sometimes the players don't always know the rules.
Mark says you've had a result there, and he certainly has.
Okay, settle down, please. Thank you.
He has hit the reds. It's just he's fouled the green with the cue. You see. It's a good call. It's a brave call from Jan Verhaas.
And it's one of those rare situations where you gain an advantage after playing a foul.
Maybe a little bit upset, Mark Selby. He had John in all sorts of trouble there. It's one of those anomalies, and the referee is perfectly correct.
I wonder, Ken, if you asked all the players how many would get that right.
Yeah, not many, but he's played an excellent safety shot. Yeah, as a player, you feel aggrieved. You know, you've played a really good telling snooker. You've got your opponent in all sorts of trouble. He's fouled the green with his cue, but technically he has hit the reds.
Well, he may be forced into trying to pot this red into the right corner. He's potted a few terrific shots in this same pocket. What he would give for one now. No, just played the safety shot. Because now John Higgins knows one mistake and it's all over.
Could quite clearly hear Mark Selby saying good shot. It's not straightforward to get the cue ball back to balk and keep the red safe over the right centre. And he's worried about if he plays one of the reds in the just directly up from the cue ball now. Where will that red be going? Maybe going into the centre of the table. So he's just having a look exactly where he wants the cue ball. I don't blame him taking his time over this one.
Just wondering if John Higgins, as he comes around to look at that very difficult red to the right middle pocket, the angle he's looking at, there's one he could double, the one above the black, and if he can find a spot for the cue ball where he's on the black and not leaving anything, he might just take the double on. Well, he was down to play the double. Change of plan. Back looking at the one to the right middle. Big shot this. doesn't like it. Because he knows one mistake and it's all over. The double slightly a safer option, but what dividends if he could pull it off. It's not far away, it's pretty close. Oh. Look where he was at that red have dropped right in amongst them.
Let's have a look at this one again. May have thought that was in when he hit it. Max Selby's got to be careful. He's going to try and knock the red in and out of ball back up towards these other reds, but he's got to be careful of the double kiss here. Cue ball back over beside the green and brown. Good effort. Another 6 or 8 inches and that would have been excellent. Beautiful view of this wonderful theatre. Crucible. 40 years of history here. A lot of great champions have graced that carpet, and this is one of them playing this shot. What a match we've enjoyed. And we still don't know a winner. He's in a bit of a predicament here. Quite a clever shot Max Selby played. He's going to try and nestle onto this red below the black to the left. He's got to be very, very careful here. Well, how brave are you, Max Selby?
Well, he's not even looking at the red next to him. Now he is, because he could get out onto the black. And the only red he could leave would be the one that he would be trying to pot along the cushion, but he's had a look at it and, well, he's just working out where to put the cue ball. It's a big shot, but if it goes in, he's on the black. The only red he could leave, but he doesn't like it. He's and that's where Mark Selby's friends and family are. Bobby on the left, his good friend, Vicky, the wife, and Gareth Potts, one of the top pool players in the world. They're chatting about whether he should take it on or not. He's not. This is a good shot. This is an excellent shot. It's a brilliant shot. And Mark Selby immediately tapped the cue on the table because there's nothing to play behind there, only the brown. That's just saying, well played, John.
Yeah, he was just a couple of inches from being in all sorts of trouble. Just the fact that cue ball just passed by the brown. He's got the red. It's closest to the right centre pocket he can play a safety shot off that one. It's fraught with a lot of danger. You've got to be so precise. Nestling this cue ball on this bottom cushion here. It's good pace. There's a red to the left centre.
Well, that's what he's looking at, Ken. Now, what a shot this would be. Oh, that's tight. It's there.
What a shot that was, Dennis.
You could hear Pierce there saying, come on.
Such a brave red to take on at this stage of the match, and a more difficult shot John took on that Mark Selby refused an easier one.
8.
He had a chance at that red along the black cushion. He refused it. It was a bit easier than that one John just knocked in, believe me.
It helps here that the pink's on the black spot. It was occupied previously.
I
mean, some of the snooker that John has produced to get himself right back into this final. To lead 10-4 and then lose 12 out of 14 frames and then be back playing like this. No, this is not what he wanted. What have you played there, John?
19.
Well, he's found a gap there. He can't believe himself. Just got into the cue ball too much, and any sort of contact on the red just right up the pink spot would have been perfect.
Yeah, he just got down and thought, well, there's no problem with the positional side of it, and found the most awkward of spots.
John Higgins, 19.
With the green and brown off their spots, the yellow's the only one to try and get behind, but you're looking to get as tight to the cushion as possible, and that was pretty good from Mark Selby. Can John Higgins return the compliment? No problem getting down the left side of the table here. It's who's going to get the white in the most difficult position, and that's what Mark has got in mind. We've seen John do that. Could the defending champion play a similar shot to the one John played a few shots ago? Here it comes, and there's plenty of pace on it, but he hasn't got the line, I don't think. Does John take this shot on? It would be so risky. I think he's just looking at the possibility of potting one into the right corner and getting back round the table, because the green's over the pocket. But is there a path for this one he's playing? I think there is. Oh, he's hit it too thin, and he's cannoned the blue. Is the blue going to come to the rescue? Not quite.
That'll do, thank you. Quietly, please, now.
Miss hit that red, overcut it by some margin. What a chance now for Mark Selby. He's got to negotiate the cue ball out for, well, he's got pink, blue or green, but he's got to get away from the reds that are close to the right-hand corner pocket, but there is a gap.
Yeah, there's a few options, isn't there, Ken? He could even, although it'd be very risky to play a cannon onto the left of the two reds, and he'd be perfect on the pink. But he's thinking of all the options here. Blue, the green, so he can please himself.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't get a full ball cannon on the pink, he's trying to get out. He really wants the cue ball out in the middle of the table and give himself some options, but as long as he doesn't catch this pink full ball, it should be okay. No, he's played it very well. He's on the blue and he's on the green. He's okay. Cue ball needs to go in and out of ball, but one good positional shot here. Oh, that's a chance he may have been waiting for. This looks pretty good.
6. Thank you. 7.
Well, they all know that this is a big chance for Mark Selby. He won the final last year, 18-14, against Ding Junhui. We always say the toughest frame to win is the one that gets you over the line, but you're talking about
13.
A defending champion and world #1. He's used to it.
$14.
Just come a bit awkward. The cue ball needed to travel just a few more inches. He's going to be bridging over this red.
67 points. That would be a 3rd world title in 4 years.
Yeah, good shot. Doesn't have much work to do with the cue ball.
20.
red to the right centre, followed by possibly a couple of reds just to the right of, below the pink. The black looks like it pots also into the left corner pocket. You could get on the black here as well. He's coming around to have a look. Drops this red in, gets on the black, Dennis. That would really open things up nicely.
He normally would do that, but I think he's just looking at all the options so that nothing can go wrong, but that's the shot on the black.
$21.
He's okay. He didn't play for this one. He was trying to play for the one that the cue ball's closest to, and he just jabbed at that one a little bit, but he always had options.
Yeah, the good thing for Mark Selby here, the 4 reds in open play with high value colours will be enough.
Thank you. 29.
5 reds, well, 4 reds after this and the black. Doesn't need those 2 reds below the black onto this bottom cushion.
And all of a sudden you can hear a pin drop in the Crucible Theatre as John looks on there. Vicky, well, she's not looking at the moment. She knows that he's very close. Looking at the scoreboard, back at the shot. A little bit of nervous energy there.
$37.
And that's fine, he's not hampered this time.
Yeah, held the cue ball nicely there. He's just composing himself, checking the scores again. He knows, he's done his calculations. He won't need those 2 reds. The ones below the black. There you see it, 29 points ahead,
40.
67 remaining. He's homing in on that. The World Championship in 4 years, incredible achievement, Dennis.
Well, when you consider he was 10-4 down and he was all at sea, he'd lost his timing, he'd lost a bit of confidence. It's quite a remarkable turnaround.
$51. $52.
But every credit to John Higgins here. At 41 years of age, he had the defending champion on the rack for a while, but he come back terrific this evening with them 3 frames with an 88 break and a century to put pressure on Mark Selby. Bobby's, well, he's saying a few prayers there.
$44 points ahead, 51 remaining. This red will put him
58.
45 ahead with just 43 remaining. This has been a sensational final, Dennis. Such drama.
It's worse for the people watching than it is out there playing, but they've given us a fantastic final, both players, and both families can be very proud. John's family's been down for the 2 days and he almost pulled it off. Well,
59.
it's just a little reaction, and that's probably with respect for John Higgins. But how is he feeling? John Higgins looks very tired now. And it's hard to describe how he'll be feeling inside. John will be disappointed because it looked as if he was going to
66.
defeat the defending world champion. It's hugs all around.
Well, John Higgins certainly asked the question.
67.
But in the end, Mark Selby certainly came up with all the answers. Absolutely brilliant.
And an exhibition shot. Look at this for a position on the last red. That's the way to finish a world championship.
74.
What a shot.
75.
He has played some unbelievable shots in this year's Betfred World Championship, it has to be said.
What a turnaround. 10-4, as you said.
Doesn't matter about the black.
Selby.
What a performance from the defending champion. Isn't that nice to see John Higgins coming forward, clapping the defending world champion and hugs all around. What a win for Mark Selby. That's his third world title in 4 years, and he becomes the Betfred 2017 world champion. Well played, boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was a final worthy of the 40th anniversary here at the Crucible Theatre. Congratulations to Mark, Sophia and Vicky, and a family moment. But I'm with our heroic runner-up, John. 6 years to get back to a 6th Crucible final. You played such a courageous part tonight, but what can you say about this man's adhesive qualities? He just will not go away.
Yeah, he's granite, isn't he? Absolutely granite. Yeah, I mean, the second session, I had my chances. The ball that killed it for me was I missed a pink into the middle bag. I could have went 9-3 in front, and that might not have made a difference at the end up, who knows, but that was a big frame. And Mark done what he always does. He clears up under the most extreme pressure. He's a fantastic champion.
But you pushed him all the way, John, and you know, it's 19 years since you first appeared in a Crucible final, and that's the longest span in Crucible history. And it's a remarkable achievement, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? And John, you've also shot back up to world number 2 at the age of 41. And there's so much to be proud about in this run. How much have you enjoyed it to be part of this final again? Yeah, listen, it's been an unbelievable tournament, the 40th year anniversary. I couldn't have asked. No, I gave everything, and I just came up short to a great champion. So, listen, I'm proud of myself, but it was too good in the day. I know you wanted a 5th, John, but next year's the 20th anniversary of your victory. Come back and do it again. Thank you very much. John Higgins, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, John. And here he is, our champion. 3 times in 4 years. You're getting the hang of this, Mark.
Yeah, unbelievable. Can't believe it, really. Still pinching myself now. But yeah, just want to say a big congratulations to John. Obviously, like John said, from 10-4 to get out 10-7 yesterday, I felt over the moon because I was literally hit the wall, had nothing left. And yeah, John outplayed me most of yesterday. So to get out 10-7, I was over the moon. And then today I come back a lot more fresh and played a lot better.
Yeah, you said it yourself. 6-frame deficit yesterday. You won those 3 at the end of last night. So crucial. And then went on that run of 12 frames in 14. What kicked in for you last night, Mark?
I don't know. I mean, when I was 10-4 down, like I say, I more or less was missing everything. I'd literally had nothing left. And then when it was 10-4, I said to myself, look, come on, just try and pull yourself together. Try and find something. Because if you're going to go down and lose, obviously at least go down fighting, you know. So I tried to find something, and fortunately enough for me, John missed a few balls you wouldn't expect him to miss and gave me a few chances to get back in the match.
He came back at you, frame 31, really big frame. There was a big moment in that one. And how did you put that out of your mind and come back fighting to make the ton in the next?
Yeah, well, I thought it touched, but I mean, I trust Jan. Jan said it didn't. I spoke to John and Steve, and they said it didn't. And to be fair to John, he even asked if you wanted a replay, which was kind of him. But yeah, I mean, I just had to put it out of my mind. I mean, you're in the world final at the end of the day, so you have to try and just blank it all out. But just a big congratulations to John. I mean, he's a great guy off the table, great guy on the table, worthy champion, and yeah, one of the all-time greats. So to play him in another final is a special occasion.
Well said, thank you, Mark. And just finally, ladies and gentlemen, it means that you now join Steve Davis, Stephen Hendry and Ronnie O'Sullivan as the only guys ever to win back-to-back here at the Crucible. That's a club. How special to be a member of it now.
Yeah, very special. I mean, to sort of get over them 2 wins and be sitting at 3 world titles out there on my own is unbelievable, really. And like you say, to be only one of 4 players to defend it is just something I can only dream of.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 40th anniversary champion, Mark Selby.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your presentation party, Mark Stebbings, Managing Director of Betfred Retail, and Barry Hearn, Chairman of World Snooker. Ladies and gentlemen, your runner-up receiving a silver medal and a cheque for £160,000. 2 decades at the top, and he's still going strong. John Higgins. And the winner, receiving a cheque for £375,000, the trophy and the title, 2017 Betfred World Snooker Champion, Leicester's hat-trick hero, Mark Selby. Once again, your champion, Mark Selby!
So the celebrations can start for real now for our champion once again, as we've been saying, 3 in 4 years, and that really is a fantastic domination now. He's been world number 1 for 116 weeks consecutively. Chew on that one, Mark. And he finishes the season for the 6th year in a row as the world number 1. What a dominant world champion he is at the moment, John.
Truly brilliant player. Honestly, absolutely. John Higgins couldn't have said it any better. Ran it. And the pair of them are the 2 exemplary match players. John's won 4 world championships, Mark's on 3. And that's no coincidence. Their games are just suited to these longer formats. And the 2 of them, they just know the way around a snooker table better than most. And he is going to take a heck of a lot of knocking off the number 1 spot. He is that good.
He is, and actually he's won 5 big events this season, and that joins Stephen Hendry and Ding Junhui, who also hold the record in world ranking events. See, that's a 5th win of the season. He's the first man to do the China Open world double as well, and he smashes through the £1 million earnings barrier in the 2-year rolling ranking list as well. So many firsts that this guy is now beginning to achieve.
Yeah, and when we look at the field of players that are potential winners, to think there's a dominant character forcing his way through is just amazing. That's wonderful moments.
Sophia stealing the show. Yeah,
yeah, but I think he's an exceptional player, exceptional match player. And there's already been said, I think it's going to take some performance to knock him off the perch in the next few years. It's going to take some young player to come through who's actually takes every part of his game on board but becomes stronger. And we're close to the ceiling of performance now.
I mean, he was pushed so hard, wasn't he? Semi-final and final. But he just finds a way to win. And there's reserves in there, the stamina and the mental concentration, everything about him. He just wins, and it's happening a lot.
And There's the question. How many more times is it likely to happen now? Because we might be looking at a guy who could seriously challenge in terms of maybe 5 or 6 or who knows thereafter.
Yeah, well, it's
only 33, John.
Well, he's the benchmark. It's as simple as that. He is the benchmark. And if you're going to win this championship, someone's going to have to play exceptionally well to beat him, because he is the man to beat here.
Now, what of John Higgins? I did say out there it would be lovely to see him back in another final. 20 years on, because we've talked about the man's longevity, and you know, it's only a couple of years ago he was saying that he was a journeyman player now and he was never going to be coming back. Look at this, world number 2 again.
Yeah, what a fillip for his career. I mean, it must inspire him when he looks back at the season he's had. I think he'll go, well, this is just wonderful. In what could be considered the autumn of his career, to get this much confirmation of how great a player he is, I think he'll go on for a few more years yet himself.
Well, the celebrations are going to continue here at the Crucible for some time to come. And you never know, Mark Selby usually does a little stint on the karaoke at the party afterwards, so we're looking forward to seeing the champion strutting his stuff once again, and of course you boys, because I know you've got a great voice. But thank you to Steve and John for your company and your wit and your wisdom and your fun over the last 17 days. And after a 17-day contribution, I think it's time for a big break for all of us. We're taking a long rest for the time being, and thank you for being with us on this journey this year, and of course every year for the last 40 years from us all here at the Crucible. Good night.